Apple has officially decided that being thin is overrated. The iPhone 17 Pro Max, the phone that's supposed to be their most pro masterpiece, is suddenly rocking the thickest design we've seen in over a decade. We're talking 8.7 millimeters of unapologetic bulk. This thing hasn't been this thick since the iPhone 4S era. And yes, if you drop it on your foot, your Apple Care plan better include an ER visit. It's almost hilarious when you think about it. For years, Apple preached that thinner was better. They shaved millimeter after millimeter, bragged about how sleek and elegant everything felt. And now, boom, they hand you a premium tech brick like it's 2011 again. So, why in the world would Apple betray its own religion of thinness? It's not like they suddenly forgot how to make components smaller. Their chips are more efficient than ever. Their modems and Wi-Fi chips are tinier than ever. Their batteries keep getting better, not worse. Every other year, the iPhone somehow gets lighter and slimmer. Yet, here comes the 17 Pro Max, thicker than a peanut butter sandwich. It feels wrong, like a plot twist in a bad movie. But when you start connecting the dots, the villain of this story becomes clear. Apple isn't bulking up for fun. They're playing a long con, setting the stage for the iPhone Fold. Here's the genius or evil of it. Apple knows exactly how you buy a new phone. You don't just read the specs and nod, you hold it, you feel it in your hand. And when you do, the first thing your brain does is compare it to the phone you already own. If the new phone is too thick or heavy, your gut screams, nope, that's a brick. And with foldables, this is the number one problem. Foldable phones, for all their magic, usually feel chunky when they're closed. Samsung learned this the hard way through 7 generations of the Galaxy Z Fold. It's the reason so many people still refuse to switch, no matter how cool it looks unfolded. Apple knows this, so instead of releasing a foldable that immediately feels awkward and thick compared to your sleek iPhone, they're making your 17 Pro Max thicker on purpose. They're training your hand. They're normalizing bulk so that when the iPhone Fold arrives, you'll pick it up, feel the extra thickness, and think, oh, this feels just like my current phone. It's psychological warfare dressed up as industrial design. And honestly, it's kind of brilliant. Now let's talk about the iPhone Fold itself, because the leaks are finally painting a full picture of what Apple's cooking. First off, they're coming for Samsung's crown with a crease-free display. That's right, no ugly line running down the middle of your $2,000 screen like you left it under a stack of textbooks. Apple apparently waited all these years because they refused to ship a foldable with a visible crease, and honestly, I believe it. This is the same company that waited a decade to make a stylus and then called it the Apple Pencil like they invented writing. The next leak is all about thickness. Folded up, the iPhone Fold is expected to be about 9 millimeters thick. Unfolded, just 4.5 millimeters. That's thinner than some credit cards stacked together. And that's why the 17 Pro Max is so chubby this year. Apple wants the Fold to feel as natural as possible in your hand when it's closed. They want that first impression to be, wow, this is just like my regular iPhone, even though it's secretly a mini tablet waiting to pop open. Then we have the price. Brace yourself, because this one stings. The iPhone Fold is rumored to cost between $1,800 and $2,000. Let me put that in perspective. That's not a phone. That's a vacation you didn't take. That's a down payment on a used car. Apple is basically daring you to prove how loyal you are to the Fruit logo. And we all know what's going to happen. People are going to whine, tweet about how it's ridiculous, and then pre-order it the second it goes live, because that's the Apple cycle. Next up, the outer screen is rumored to be around 5.5 inches, which is smaller than Samsung's current Z Fold. But that's a good thing because it keeps the phone compact. Unfold it though, and you get a glorious 7.8-inch display that's almost iPad mini territory. Combine that with Apple's titanium chassis for strength and a rumored 5,000 milliampere battery with new silicon carbon tech, and suddenly you've got a foldable that doesn't just compete, it dominates. Apple is betting that by the time you hold this thing in your hand, all your skepticism will evaporate. And then there's the release plan. Apple is allegedly dropping the Fold next year alongside the iPhone 18 series. But here's the kicker, the lineup is getting slimmer. We're talking 4 main models: iPhone Air, iPhone Pro, iPhone Pro Max, and iPhone Fold. The regular iPhone 18 delayed until spring. Why? Because Apple wants their September event to be laser focused on the Fold. They want the entire tech world talking about how the future of the iPhone just bent in half. So here's the master plan when you zoom out. This year, Apple fattens up the 17 Pro Max, so your hand gets used to the weight and thickness. Next year, the iPhone Fold arrives, and it feels like magic instead of a brick. Suddenly, Apple is the hero who perfected the foldable on their first try, while Samsung looks like they've been beta testing for 7 years. And once again, Apple walks away with your money and your respect, while you sit there holding a $2,000 gadget that could probably double as a self-defense weapon. The truth is, Apple doesn't just sell phones, they sell psychology. They sell the illusion that every single move is innovation, even when they're basically training us to accept a brick so that a foldable can feel normal. And I'll admit it, I'll probably buy the Fold, I'll roast it, I'll call it overpriced, and then I'll unbox it like a kid on Christmas morning. That's the Apple way. And if you think this year's iPhone drama is wild, just wait for the iPhone 18 leaks, because apparently Apple has a plan that's going to make your pockets and your bank account cry even harder. But that's a story for another video. Peace out.